welcome everyone to Cabin Fever Crochet with me, Helene. I have been tagged for the first time to answer these series of questions, and I'm going to have fun with it, and I hope you'll have even more fun hanging out here with me as I go through these. And before I get into it, I do have a little story on this. And well, I pretty much have a story for everything. And when I first got this tag, which was by my friend Nancy at Nan's Next Knots, and I'm thrilled to participate in it first. And I really didn't think I would be into doing it. And I do enjoy watching and other people. It's just like talking about myself kind of thing. But since this is yarn related, that could be fun. And Nancy had texted me, and we're friends, and we talk a lot, and she asked if I watched her video from this morning. I was like, no, not yet. I haven't had a chance. And then when I finally unpacked everything and sat down, I said, oh, come and watch your video now. And she said, good. I thought, uh-oh, something's up there. I could feel it. I could smell it. I knew it. And then I kind of forgot about it as I watched, and because I was interested in what she had to say and got into that. And then she got to the end and started tagging people, and I knew. I thought, oh, no, please don't go there. And I was the first person that she tagged. And I thought, okay, why not? This could really be fun, and I'm happy to participate. And then I thought, oh gosh, now I have homework to do. No, I didn't want to have to think about anything that hard. And it's hard enough for me to make one decision sometimes, let alone 10 of them. Thank you, Nancy. And at the end, there's going to be a tag for someone out there. Can you guess who you are? All right, so here we go. What is your favorite color of yarn? Well, that's easy. The first one's easy. And these are all great questions. I don't know who came up with them. I thought they were very, very good, well thought out. All right, so my favorite color of yarn is pretty much my favorite all-time color, and that would be in the aqua robin's egg blue turquoise family. Not so much into teal, a little bit if it's more of a blue teal rather than a green teal, although I do like green too. But yeah, those color families. And I remember I was maybe 9 years old, and I was in the backyard at someone's birthday party, and I saw a robin's egg in a nest in a tree. And with the sun streaming down, it was just like, oh, the angels were singing. And I was so drawn to this. And I remember just feeling like in this spiritual zone, and everything around me kind of washed away and tuned out. And I was so drawn to these precious little eggs that I had never seen anything like that before, and that the new birth, and a couple were starting to crack already, and they were just starting to be born. And I was very careful not to disturb that, but I was just so mesmerized, in such awe of the beauty that is in nature, and I still am every day to this day. But that color just drew me in so much, and I don't know what it was about it, but and it still does. And I do venture, and I love color. I just love so many different colors, and sometimes I'm in a brownie neutral mood, and other times it's more vibrant. But that is my go-to of everything, and I do try to venture out so I don't get tired of it. I don't want to get tired of that color, but yes, that is my favorite. And question number 2, and don't worry, all my explanations won't be that long, but so I told you I have a story for everything, but that one is really special to me, and it has truly stuck with me my whole life. And I can just think back to that time and place as if I were there. So number 2, what is my favorite weight of yarn? I do work with different weights, but what is most comfortable for me, and for various reasons, is between a number 3 DK weight and a number 4. And so we could say more of a worsted number 3, a light number 4, and maybe in the 200 to 230 yard range per your average 100-gram ball, something like that. It seems to have, for me, enough substance to where I have body to the finished piece, but yet it's light enough to where I can get a lot of nice movement and drape, and that it's really versatile because I can go down hook size to make it a little more tight and structured, and I can go up to make something very loose and open and drapey. And I think it works for a lot of different projects too, and that's going to depend on the season, because I do live in a 4-season area here in northeastern Washington state, but overall that is my favorite. And number 3, my favorite style of yarn. I'm not entirely sure of what that question means, style. I guess the type of yarn, maybe how it's spun, wound. And again, I like a variety. Variety to me is a spice of life. I like to try new things, go new places, do something different, learn something different, try things different ways, because I get bored of repetition and the same thing, routine, and then I feel myself kind of getting in a rut. So I don't know if I have a particular favorite, because I might have a new favorite at the moment. But I suppose picking one, if I really have to, it would be a smooth type of yarn that is sleek and has not a real high sheen, but kind of a satin type finish. I like those a lot. And it really doesn't matter so much on the ply if it's a single or multi. Yarn that's not too splitty. I like something that has good stitch definition, but that can lend to having nice texture at the same time, and that is versatile depending on the stitch or the pattern that I use. So I hope that makes sense. You know, I like trying other things too, some that might be more fuzzy, where the strands are more separate than together, or ones that have flex in it. Like I used that flex yarn recently, but I think overall I would go for a yarn that is just smooth and easy to work with too. So then number 4 would be, what is my favorite fiber of yarn? And I like my natural fibers. And again, see, here goes the analytical, the Virgo part, where I'm going, well, that depends on this and the season and mood and time of year and project I'm working on. And there's so many different options out there. It's hard to choose one. It's like, really, just one? Okay. I would go with a cotton blend. And cotton needs, for me, a really good quality, a longer staple. The shorter staple, the more rough and that more dishclothy texture. And that's fine for certain projects. You know, I like the mercerized for others. And we'll get into, I could get into the differences that in cotton, that could be a whole video topic by itself. But with a long staple, like a smooth combed, a Pima cotton, an Egyptian cotton, nice high quality cotton, and organic even better, and blended with some type of other like plant fiber pulp, bamboo, something of that nature. And it could even be viscose, tencel, rayon, lyocell. Those are all plant fiber based plant fiber pulps, but the more natural for me, the better. Okay, so number 5. Ooh, we're halfway there. Okay, number 5. Oh, they're gonna get harder. Is this like a test, a quiz in school? Hope I'm not gonna get graded on it. What is my favorite brand that I can get easily within my country? Favorite brand. Again. So I don't know. I don't know. I've been thinking on it. As I said, let me think on it a minute. I've already been thinking of it, and I still don't know. Favorite. Well, okay. Off the top of my head, pardon me, backsplashed on my nose. Oh, it's kind of a toss-up. Lion brand comes to mind first. I really like Premier also because they are also universal yarns, which has very nice, unique yarns. And I really do like a lot of Premier. But for me, I think Lion brand because there is such a range where they have specialty yarns and then everyday yarns and everything in between. And they're very innovative. They come out with a lot of very creative, wonderful ideas and patterns. And I really like their packaging, their labels too. They're so artsy and creative and fun and inspiring to me just looking at the package. And they do offer a lot of variety of fibers as well. And it's pretty easily available for me, whether in store and not so much lately. Just with this past year, it seems like a lot of the stores are not stocking as much, and you know, it might have a lot to do with the pandemic, I'm sure, and suppliers, and perhaps people haven't been buying as much for obvious reasons over this past year. But I do like that they keep their staples and then they add and they try new ones, and that's a lot of fun. So I really enjoy Lion brand, and for the quality and how well they do color. It's such a saturation of color, and even their muted colors are done really well. What is my favorite brand that isn't easy to get within my country? I don't know. I don't know if there really is one that I have ventured into. I have ordered from out of the country before, like ice yarns. I've ordered twice. So that could be one, because I do like what I have seen. They have some very interesting yarns, and a lot of them are similar to what we can find here, but with their label. And then another one, I've just had one experience, and that was with the yarn swap I did with Tracy in the UK, and she sent me some of Dara Morris yarn, and that was my only experience with it. I liked it very, very much, and I also just like saying that name, Dara Morris. It just sounds so fabulous. All right, so yeah, that one's I really, sorry, I don't have much there. Okay, so number 7, my favorite yarn store online and favorite brick and mortar. Well, online used to be, and this was pre-pandemic, was Love Crafts. It was Love Crochet, Love Knitting. They combined to Love Crafts. Such a marvelous selection of everything from A to Z, and high-end specialty yarns, and just even your basics, and a lot of the Lion brand, the Red Heart, the Premier, and these more commercial mainstream type of yarns that we have here in the United States. And then I could find a lot of unusual ones that I had not tried before. And so that's why that goes back to the previous question. Well, you know, it maybe wasn't so readily available in our country, but it was easy enough to get. And especially since Love Crafts started up a United States vendor type place where they, not a vendor, but where they ship from, I guess. So, yeah, I used to be Love Crafts online, and then they've scaled back, I've noticed also, and they are not carrying a lot of the yarns that I would typically order, and which was nice because I could consolidate and combine the ones that I can't so easily find that were more unique to them, and get a variety, and also some of the basics too. It was nice to be able to get that in one, and their shipping was good turnaround time, and the price on the shipping was very reasonable, and you know, free shipping with X amount, and they have sales, and I'm still on their email list, and I'm sure I'll order again from them, but I have scaled back on my yarn purchasing quite a bit, and because I have a lot to use, and then also just being more mindful of what I spend on that. And then my favorite brick and mortar, and I don't know, I'm gonna divide this into two categories. One again is the more commercial, mainstream type, and you know, it's a tough one, really, because my favorite is gonna be where my yarn need takes me, and I spread that love around. So if I need something here, that's where I go, or I go there, or I go everywhere. I love Hobby Lobby, and it was a thrill to me because I never experienced the magical world of Hobby Lobby before until we moved here in 2013. And they have primarily now their own in-house brands, and I really do love their yarn, but I also like a variety of others, and okay, going back to Lion Brand, which they do not carry. So I really enjoy Hobby Lobby, and then I also do Joann sometimes. Oh, maybe, I don't know, equally, but anyway, that's kind of a toss-up. And then the other category would be the specialty yarn store, and there are a few around here, and there's a smaller one up north, which I enjoy, and they have quite a selection, and they have fabric and other things too. But for a truly amazing experience is Paradise Fibers in Spokane, Washington. And I did a yarn tour last year. I'll leave the link below if you haven't seen it, would like to. And I actually went back a little while more recently, and I have a whole series of filming that I did in a specific category in that amazing, truly amazing shop. It's not a shop, I mean, it's huge. It's a huge, huge building. And they have a little upstairs and the whole bit. And you just could spend a whole day in there, easy to take it all in. And so they have everything from weaving and dyeing and spinning, and they cater to both crochet and knitting, which is truly wonderful. And you know, they have buttons and accessories and I mean, everything imaginable. So that is more than a store, that is an actual experience. So Paradise Fibers, and they do have a website, so you can check that out too. I'm not affiliated, just saying. All right, so number 8. Wow, we're to number 8 already. Okay, are you still there? Hello, hello. I haven't lost anybody, have I? It's getting even more exciting. Maybe, I don't know. You can be the judge of that. All right, and if I do this a lot because these are blended trifocals. So if I'm looking straight on, I can't see, I kind of have to do this. And that's okay, because it tends to put my neck back where it used to be. All right, number 8. Do you keep scrap yarn? If so, what do you do with it? Yes, I keep scrap yarn. I have donated it before if it's not a yarn that I know I'm not going to use or be into anymore. It depends how much of it is left. What do I do with it? I have it in a bag sitting there. It's just sitting there. That's it. Now I use it to tie packages, wrap packages with. I do that a lot. I will use it as trim on projects if I have just a little bit left. Sometimes I don't have that much. For some reason I don't wind up with a lot of scrap yarn. And one of these days I'm just going to wind it all nice and neatly, ever so sweetly, when I have enough, and then do my little organization thing. I like to organize stuff, and put them into probably weight categories. Those are my number 4s, my number 3s, and into fiber, separated into fiber and weight. I think be a good thing. One of these days I might have enough to actually make something with, but when there's bits and pieces, I don't like dealing with 50 bazillion ends to sew in any more than I have to. But I always repurpose it in some way or give it away until I have enough. But yeah, trim, that's probably, especially a sparkly yarn or a novelty yarn, that's an interesting fiber that I can just use as a little piping around something, or even mix it. I'll do that too. I'll double up on my yarns. If I have just a little of this and a little of that, well, I'll put the two together, and then that'll create a whole thing, another thing on its own. All right, so the last 2 questions, I guess these are the desert island, deserted island, desert. Desert island, okay. That's an oxymoron. It's getting late. Deserted island. See, that does a lot of things for me to have to think about tonight. What is my favorite thing to crochet or knit? Shawls. Shawls, that is the first real project I ever made way back in my youth, and still is today. I love shawls. I could make shawls, I could do one till the cows come home. In fact, here's another one I made, and I didn't even show you that, so I pulled this out. I just had it sitting on the rocking chair, and I had a surgery in December. I made 4 shawls, and 2 were gifts. One I kept for myself, and this was supposed to be a gift, but I haven't sewn in my ends yet. See, there you go, good example. I'm just such a procrastinator when it comes to that. I have hats that I've made, baseball cap hats, beanies, that I still haven't sewn the ends in 2 years later, and I just keep stuffing them back up in there and sticking it on my head and going about my day. But this again, it's that not so granny. This was shawl that I made. This was one of the first prototype, and where it was this one is a little more pointy, the others, and has a little more flounce at the bottom. And then I worked it out to give it a little more width at the bottom. And I do think this will probably go to its home. But this was done in the Lion brand. See, and I guess my go-to, the Shawl in a Ball, because it's such a wide range. I love all the different textures, and they seem to be just very innovative in a lot of ways. Not that the other companies are not. This is, I think, Calming Desert. Oh, that's probably where I got the desert from. See, I had this in my mind, on my mind. Yeah. In my defense, there was a rhyme to reason for that, if that makes sense. I really am getting tired. Okay, so shawls, yes. That is my favorite thing. And number 10, it will lead me to why. If you could crochet or knit one last thing for the rest of your life, what would it be and what yarn would I use? Okay, that's getting too complicated. No, it would be shawls. It would be my favorite thing to make, shawls, and I will tell you why. Because they're so versatile. Can do a lot. They can be triangular, they can be more crescent curve shape, they can be, you know, like more rectangular like a wrap. So you can make a really tiny one and even use it for a little scarf around your head. If it's hot out, if you were on a deserted island and you needed to cover up your head with something to keep the sun from blasting it, you could do that. You could make a rectangular one, and that could double as a hooded scarf to keep you warm. You can make it wide enough and long enough and turn it into a sarong, a bathing suit cover up. You can make a shawlette and wear it backwards like a kerchief. So you could make an even bigger one and you could have like a blanket. So a lot of different things that one could do with it. Maybe even make a tent out of it if you had to, if you had enough yarn. And what yarn would I use? Oh, I don't know. Probably anything in aqua or turquoise or robin's egg blue, that's for sure. Or even something in this, you know. I guess whatever I have, that's what I would do. If I didn't have any, I'd probably figure out how to make some with blades of grass, tying them together. Except that would be an awful lot of ends. It would just wind up being like a fringe project, a self-fringe made project. All right, before I start getting too silly and too weird and rambling on, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you. Thanks for being a part of this. It was really fun, and I appreciate being tagged. It really was a neat thing to do. Oh yes. Here is one tag, and that is for you, Jay, my friend. Jay's Knit and Purl Jam. You're it. And I hope, hey, if I can do it, you can do it too. All right, well, I will look forward to seeing yours if you choose to do that, but no pressure, no obligation. Either way, your choice, whatever you decide. I love you all the same. All right, take care, my fiber friends. Please come back again next time. Like, share, subscribe, and comment below. And take care, stay well. And until then, cheers.